It gives me a great pleasure, Your Excellency, to stand before you today as we welcome you to close this important induction workshop. This event has marked a significant step in our journey towards enhancing governance, leadership, and operational efficiency within KTDA. Your Excellency, we have taken this board of directors through our vision, the mission, the core values of KTDA, which has been instilled for the last 60 years, so that from there they can take over the leadership, having been elected recently by the farmers, Your Excellency. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you, to all the guests and dignitaries, and the most important, Your Excellency, for gracing this occasion. It is now with honor that I wish to invite the Chairman KTDA wanting to make his remarks. Thank you.
The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, CS, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Honorable Dr. Andrew Karanja, PS, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Honorable Dr. Paul Lono, Mombasa County Governor, Honorable His Excellency Shelif Nasil, T-Board of Kenya Chairman, Mr. Jacob Kayo, the T-Board of Kenya CEO, Mr. William Mutai, the board members of KTDA Holdings, all directors, CEO KTDA, all senior management staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you today as we mark the official closing of our Directors Induction Program. Over the past few days, we have been embarked on a journey of learning, reflection, and engagement to equip each of you with the knowledge, skills, and understanding necessary to steer this great organization into the future. We feel very privileged that your government, led by His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has accorded us this immense support. And on behalf of KTDA family, we say a big thank you. To our newly inducted directors, congratulations on completing this program. The role you have assumed is both a privilege and a responsibility. As stewards of KTDA, not just for the benefit of our shareholders, but for the tens of thousands of smallholder tea farmers whose livelihoods depend on the decisions we make. On a personal note, this is a responsibility I do not take lightly. I assure you of my unwavering commitment to steer this organization forward, always with the best interest of our farmers at the center of every decision we make. The challenges we face as an organization are numerous. The global tea market is ever evolving, with fluctuation in prices, changes in consumer preferences, and the impact of climate change, all presenting significant challenges. But with these challenges come opportunities to innovate, to explore new markets, to enhance our production method, and to continue improving the welfare of our farmers. Even in the persisting challenges, we must ensure that the tea farmer reaps the benefits of their hard work. This is not just a duty, it is our mission. I commit to working tirelessly alongside each one of you to make certain that every tea farmer, whether in the west of Rift or east of Rift, sees the rewards of their labor. Our goal is clear. KTDA tea from every region of this great country must become synonymous with quality. Quality is the foundation upon which market access is built. And it is only by adhering to the highest standards that we can attain and retain markets while fetching the best prices for our farmers. However, the task of enhancing the quality of our tea is not one that can be done alone. It requires the collective effort of every director, every KTDA staff member, and every tea farmer. I implore all players in the KTDA tea value chain to join us in this cause, to ensure that KTDA tea from all regions becomes a beacon of quality. By collectively addressing tea quality, we will make our tea highly competitive in the global market, secure better prices, and reduce income disparities currently experienced by our farmers across the region. But quality alone is not enough. Our efforts to produce top-notch tea will only bear fruit if end product is successfully absorbed by the market. As a leadership team, we are committed to expanding KTDA market share. This will involve not only retaining our existing markets, but also empower new ones. I challenge each of you as directors to be innovative in finding new routes to take our teas to the market. I also urge you to explore mechanisms for making production more efficient, reducing wastage, lowering the cost of production, and minimizing profitability are key objectives that will ultimately benefit our farmers. Your Excellency, in the fertilizer subsidy program Your Excellency, in the fertilizer subsidy program has been instrumental in enhancing tea production for our organization. However, I must make a plea to the government through our dear chief guests, Your Excellency, to push for the fast tracking of the release of the subsidy funds that is remaining. The delays in the release of funds are negatively affecting our cash flows, creating deficits that we must address urgently. Additionally, we thank the government for supporting us in establishing a multi-user packaging facility in Nairobi, which will ease value addition costs for our factory, particularly in the East. As you step into your roles, I urge you to be guided by the principles of integrity, transparency, and accountability. These are the pillars upon which KTDA has built its reputation, and they must remain at the forefront of every decision we make. Our farmers, our stakeholders, our employees look to us for leadership that is fair, just, and visionary. I also encourage you to foster a culture of collaboration and teamwork. The strength of KTDA lies in our collective ability to work together towards a common goal. Let us always remember that the success of this organization is not the work of one individual, but the result of many working in unison. Thank you, and may God bless you all as we embark on this journey together. God bless you. I now take this opportunity to invite the PS to come and address the directors.
Yes, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the CS Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Andrew Karancha, Excellency the Governor of Mombasa, Sharif Nasir, where we are welcome, we are warmly welcome. The Chairman of KTDA Holding, Enos Njeru, the chair of the board, the CEO's present, KTDA, and the CEO of the board, the directors present here elected, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Yes, Your Excellency, mine is very simple, just to welcome the next two speakers. But before I do that, I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for the great support you give to this sector. I know you step in to sort out the coffee sector. You have stepped in to sort out this critical sector of tea, which really contribute a lot for when it comes to the foreign earning. I would like to appreciate your support and with the one of His Excellency for this sector, because it's a sector we believe in that if it is well handled, it will turn around the economy of this country in a positive way. I want to really thank and congratulate this new team of the directors of KTDA, the factories, for really winning your election. Congratulations, directors. I know the game was very tough. It was, Your Excellency, it was bigger than the game of an MCA. I realized this team is a very strong team on the ground. And these are our MCAs. And this is where the rubber meets the road, Your Excellency. And these are the people, we really call them, they are the people on the ground, and we rely on them. And if they work well with us, and the government will achieve a lot in this sector. I have no doubt that this team number one in the sector will really deliver on the agenda of this government, and most importantly, enhance the farmers' earning. So thank you, team, and congratulations. We'll work with you, and I believe that the journey, even though it's a rough journey, you have government behind you so that we can turn around the sector. Congratulations. Your Excellency, when you sent us last week through the office of the CS to come and fix out the issues of unsold tea in Mombasa, I'm happy to report today that from the unsold tea, which was around 100 million kilos by the time you sent us this to Mombasa to work with the brokers and the buyers, we are happy today to report that that number is reduced from 100 million kilos to around 37 million kilos of tea as we talk now. Thank you, Your Excellency, and the CS for that support, and thank you, the brokers and the buyers and this team in totality for what you have done to our tea farmers generally. So I would like to welcome the next speaker, Your Excellency, the Governor of Mombasa, Excellency Sharif Nasir, to talk to us and welcome us to this Mombasa County. Thank you.
Asante sana. Your Excellency, allow me as well to be amongst those who will congratulate each and every one of you. You're leaders in your own right from the various factories that you represent, and you're coming here collectively. If nothing at all is a manifestation, this is a beginning of a bright future for the tea industry. Your Excellency, Mombasa does not grow tea. However, the tea that passes through the county of Mombasa, I can comfortably say that Mombasa handles more tea than any county in this country. This is where our tea warehouses are. This is where tea is mixed for purposes of export. So we have tea from every part of this country coming into Mombasa. We even have tea for purposes of mixing that comes in from other parts of the world. And Mombasa is a preferred destination because of our geographical location. Mombasa is a preferred destination because, you know, not to add on top of it as well, you have a governor like Abdul Samad that also adds value to that. But Your Excellency, there is no doubt, after having said all that, that the interest of Mombasa in the tea industry is a direct impact on the economy of Mombasa. From the warehouses that are rented out, the staff that work in all these warehouses, the tea auction, from the various companies that do the mixing after having bought the tea, the premium tea from the KTDA and its farmers. You will even realize, Your Excellency, that even the hotels within the island of Mombasa, the sales have a direct impact on also the tea market. That means accommodation and everything else has a direct impact on the same. And I think ours is to try and facilitate and to try and assist as government. It would not be bad, Your Excellency. I want to congratulate the fact that we have subsidized fertilizer that is used on these very, very same farms. And probably, Your Excellency, in the same program that was being discussed about tractors being brought on board, it might not be a bad idea for the government to be able to invest in drones, in today's technology, invest in drones so that we can actually confirm that that fertilizer is optimized to its maximum. It might not also be a bad idea for us to invest in technology that can be able to give us smart climate technology. Your Excellency, one factor, and I met with the tea traders on this matter, we did raise it up with the national government on the same. One of the issues that is a factor is the cost of production. And when we say cost of production, it is not just power alone, but it is also in things like packaging and packaging materials. Where in other parts of the world, the cost of packaging material is extremely low. But because of various factors, including taxation as well, the cost of packaging in Kenya ends up at times being more expensive than the content of that tea itself. So for us to be able to compete with countries that are mixing tea, like the Middle East today is one of the largest tea blenders and mixers in the world, is in the Middle East, and they don't even have, forget about tea, they don't even have the rain for them to be able to grow that tea. And I think we are asking the industry to take advantage. I know that the President and yourself are moving very fast to be able to ensure that Dongo Kundu is up and running. The county government of Mombasa itself has its own SEZ that we are hoping to be able to launch very soon. It might not be a bad idea for a whole area to be set aside for purposes of having a multi-user tea mixing facility. And maybe, Your Excellency, if you could be able to reach out to the relevant ministry for trade and industrialization, that the tea industry is given a sector where they can be able to put up a multi-user facility so that the industry can be able to appreciate and attract the SEZ incentives that are there so that they can be able to compete with the other countries within the world. And lastly, Your Excellency, because I know we're going somewhere else to the showground actually, sije watu wakashindwa tunaenda wapi, tunaenda show. But we have one rule, and I have tried to pass this through IBEC, and we are hoping that you will support us in this rule. And our rule, Your Excellency, is very simple. We are hoping that when someone comes to Mombasa, they finish their money in Mombasa. So please, in your kind words, as I usher you in, please remind them the allowances that they have been given, please let them finish them here in Mombasa. And if any of you needs a fare to go back home, we have a whole government here. Tuko na wizara, tuko na county commissioner, tunaweza kuwasainia voucher, tukawakopesha, mutaturegeshea mukifika. Thank you very much. Karibu sana, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Excellency. Governor. So now it is now my humble duty to welcome the next speaker, who is our CS, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, CS Dr. Andrew Karanja, to come and address this congregation and welcome our chief guest. Welcome, CS.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, His Excellency, the Governor of Mombasa, Sharif Nassir, Chairman, Directors, CEO, T-Board of Kenya, Chairman, Director, CEO, KTDA Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo? Muko? Yes. First of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate all the directors for being newly elected. As it has been said, elections are not easy. So you have, and now you are being inducted. So welcome and congratulations. I am delighted, Your Excellency, to join you this morning in this very important program of inducting newly elected directors of our smallholder tea factories managed by KTDA. And as we congratulate them, we note that they have a great responsibility to serve the smallholder farmers. And Your Excellency, following my appointment by His Excellency the President, my first stop was in Mombasa, because on 16th of August, I came here to discuss with the stakeholders on the best way forward in addressing some of the challenges of the unstored stocks at the tea auction. And when I was being vetted by the registrators, I promised them that we will be able to look at that issue and other issues affecting the tea sector. And it is good to note that tea is the largest subsector in my ministry. So I cannot keep my eyes off the tea sector. It is very important. It holds a great number of farmers, almost 800,000, and various stakeholders. So directors, we have a big responsibility, especially to our farmers, the 800,000 of them. So we share that same responsibility with you, and we walk the journey with you. I promise you that we will be together to make sure that the industry achieves its targets. What are the targets? I would like to share with you what are the targets from the national government, from where we stand. And as part of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, which we call BETTER, tea is one of the value chains which we want to promote, and we have given priority. And we have 3 key targets, which is my responsibility and also the responsibility of the directors and also the stakeholders in the tea industry to achieve. One is to increase earnings of smallholder farmers from the current 59 shillings per kilogram of green tea to over 90 shillings by 2027. 59 to 90 by 2027. Your Excellency, we are almost there. We are gauging up there, but the journey is challenging. But I would like to urge the directors here, let us aim to go there. The next one is to increase the volume of value-added tea and tea exports from the current about 20 million kilograms to 235 million. So we are multiplying that one by almost 10 times. That is also a challenge. We have to, and an opportunity we have to make sure that we add value to our tea. And Your Excellency, the third one is to increase the foreign exchange earnings from about 180 billion to 360 billion by 2027. 180 to 360 billion. I would say that as we stand here, we are almost crossing the 200 billion. So we are on the way to 370, but still the journey is still far. So those are the targets we have set ourselves. And the ministry and the directors, KTDA and other stakeholders in the tea industry will have to work together to make sure that we achieve those targets. I have a long speech, but I would like, not because of time, to focus on only one issue, which may be very relevant to you directors. And the issue is about governance. You know you have the opportunity to do oversight over the factories where you, and the areas where you have been elected. And it is very important that we emphasize the need of good governance, because good governance also has its implications in terms of the cost of doing business, in terms of social inclusion, in terms of what you do with the other stakeholders. So we would like to emphasize and the ministry would like to emphasize the issue about good governance practices. As directors, you are the focal points of the corporate governance practice in your factories. And you are accountable and responsible in the performance and conduct of each of the factories. You are given this enormous responsibility to do the oversight, and we would expect you to emphasize that. And I'm sure during this induction, that has been emphasized to you. It is often said that corporate world that good ethics is good business. So if you do good ethics, good governance, you are doing good business. So I would like to urge you that you emphasize that in your everyday activities. So without much ado, I would like now to ask you to be all upstanding as we welcome our chief guest, His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Keti. Our CS for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Drew Kamau, the Governor, Mombasa County, Absamwad Dasil, rafiki yangu. You were late father, tulikuwa naye kwa kando na Moi. Nikikuona naona mzee nafurahi sana. The PS for Agriculture, Dr. Rono, the Chairman of the Tea Board of Kenya, Jacob Kahio, the KTDA Chairman, Enos Jeru, all members of the Board of Directors, na wale directors wote wamechaguliwa na wakulima, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. I look back with nostalgia to the pre-election period in 2022, when the Kenya Kwanza team went around the country conducting economic forums to collect public insights which informed the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. A lot was said during those forums, and it is the wish of the people that will fulfill those promises. With limited resources, it is key to have priorities. Under the agricultural pillar, tea is one of the priority crop value chains that is selected. From the economic forums, the voice of our farmer was clear that farmers need more money in the pocket. Additionally, the Tea Reforms Conference held in Kericho in July 2023 was a first step in the continuation of this conversation. Together with the farmers, we agreed on key resolutions on what needs to change to this reform, to this subsector. These resolutions were farmer-centric in the spirit of the public participation requirement in accordance with our Constitution. The Kericho resolutions were organized based on a value chain approach of production, processing, marketing, value addition, institutional, policy, and legal reforms. At a high level, under the production thematic area, the resolution centered on re-establishment of the Tea Research Foundation, farmer extension services, and soil testing. On processing, standardized processes for harvesting and handling of green leaf, carp tea hooking, establishment of quality assurance framework, harmonized power tariffs between KTDA and Kenya Power, and investment in orthodox processing. Under marketing, we agreed on national branding of Kenyan tea, review of reserve price, timely payment to farmers, and leverage on commercial diplomacy in our Kenyan missions abroad. In value addition, KTDA was to increase sale of value-added tea from the current 1% to 40% by 2027. For instance, Sri Lanka, one of the world's largest tea producers, does 50% value addition. Finally, institutional policy and legal reforms included the withdrawal of court cases, improved corporate governance at KTDA, and full implementation of the Tea Act. The current status, as we stand here today, where are we on these actions? The matter of court cases, which was a big challenge, has been resolved thanks to the mediation efforts initiated by the Tea Board of Kenya, leading to the KTDA elections, which you people won. Napongezi, congratulations. Najua waziri, kushinda uchaguzi hata ya kiti ya Munanda ni kibarua. Na wale sisi ndio watu ya kuchaguliwa, we know it is not easy to get elected. It doesn't matter how small, kama ni ile ya tea buying center, kama ni ile ya director. Watu 100 wamelala nyumba tofauti. Kuamuka asubuhi na bado kutana kusema wewe ndio unatosha ni kibarua. Si iko namna hiyo? Ni kibarua. Kwa hivyo tunasema pongezi na tunaheshimu nyinyi kwa kuchaguliwa. For the most part, that is the only achievement we can celebrate more than 1 year later. If put on the spot to explain this to your employers, the farmers, can you? What is the cost benefit to farmers for the financial resources you have consumed in directors' expenditure, foreign and domestic, loss-making subsidiaries? Mtaambia nini wakulima? That is why we want to talk to you as we congratulate those who have been elected. Wale wamekuja ndio tunataka tusungumzie, because we did not get it right. And we believe the new directors will come with new ideas so that our employer, the farmer, can benefit. And that is the reason I chose to come and speak with you. You know I'm a truthful man. Mnikubalie tu niambie nyinyi ukweli. Sababu hata nisipomwambia mtaambiwa na wakulima. If you look at foreign travel for directors between January and June 2024, the KTDA holdings on local and foreign travel, we have spent 44 million Kenya shillings. 44. Directors of Kenya holdings. Between January and June. Na hii pesa yote itakatwa kwa mkulima. Hivyo, mimi naomba nyinyi, as you settle down to work, let us put effort on how to reduce expenses for the directors. Ndio mkulima apate haki yake. Sababu mkulima akikufa roho atang'oa majani chai. Aking'oa majani chai hakuna mtu ya kuchagua na uchumi wetu utazoroteka. We must agree that we must have a candid conversation about the cost of production per kg of tea leaf. And the only way to put money in the farmer's pocket is to look for better markets, better prices, but the most doable, which is in your hands, is to bring down the cost of production. You may not have control over world prices. You may not have control over new markets, but in your hands as directors, you can control the cost of production kwa kupunguza iteremuke, so that that benefit can go to the farmer. How do we as a country produce high quality tea? How do we sell our high quality tea for a high quality return, which goes back to the farmer? If we can choose these two things, then the reforms have been successful. Anything short of this is a fail. However, we are faced with historical challenges which we have produced poor results, like huge stocks currently at the warehouses, where I plan with the minister to visit later this afternoon to look at the stocks lying there for a long time and find out what is the problem and try to work with KTDA holdings and all stakeholders with the Tea Board of Kenya. How do we move these stocks for the benefit of the farmer? Insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is insanity. The past challenges will no longer be excuses or reasons for poor performance. Firstly, quality production of tea must be enforced all the way from production, picking, transportation, and processing. From farm to cup, the quality standards must be observed. The Tea Board of Kenya and KTDA management services must get this right and get it right the first time, which is called TQM, Total Quality Management. TQM, Total Quality Management, is getting it right and getting that right the first time. The Tea Board of Kenya must ensure that independent factories and tea brokers who do not do the right thing have their license revoked immediately and surcharged. Wewe bwana Kayu, hii wakora wanafanya tea hawking na kuharibu chai yetu, especially in the western region. You must clamp on them. And we'll avail officers of the national government administration, our county commissioners and deputy county commissioners, and the county security and intelligence committees who will be at your disposal to help you, because they are the ones who introduce low quality tea to our farmers. And this is very notorious in the western region. Lazima tusaidie wakulima. And the Tea Board of Kenya will give you the necessary backup as an administration to make sure that all those crooks are removed from this sector, because they are doing us a lot of damage. On this also, it is important to speak about fertilizer. We are buying what we have always bought, which sometimes defeats the purpose. Subsidized fertilizer is one of the government interventions to increase production, which translates to increased returns for farmers. KTDA is on record charging government huge amounts for fertilizer subsidy. However, the fertilizer being bought today is not backed by new scientific soil testing evidence to say that is the right thing. We are using the old results. Please, let's test our soils and get a proper recommendation on the most effective type of fertilizer. I alone, we had a fight, a big fight with maize farmers because they have always used DAP. But on testing the soils, it was found that DAP is not appropriate because of the soil acidity. And after we brought a different form of fertilizer, farmers have reaped big. So I want to ask KTDA to work with our labs and have the soils tested and come up with a recommendation on the most suitable fertilizer to increase tea production. Expenditure management and excesses must be checked. The financial resources held by KTDA are held in trust for the farmers. Therefore, prudent expenditure is not an option. How you spend the money as custodians must demonstrate to the owners that you are disciplined, reliable, accountable, and trustworthy. Foreign travel, domestic travel, legal fees, car hire, businesses, first-class travel tickets, among others, are just examples of areas of waste that must be done away with forthwith. I would like somebody to explain to me, and indeed to government, why, when KTDA has a legal department with lawyers who are registered advocates of the High Court of Kenya, why do you outsource legal services from law firms that are so exorbitant? Yet we have a fully fledged legal department with lawyers paid monthly, and they are admitted as advocates of the High Court. They can go to court and argue cases on behalf of KTDA. Lakini tunawacha wale mawakili wako pale wanalipwa mshahara kila mwezi. Kukiwa na kesi tunaenda kutafuta mawakili kutoka nje, wanalipisha pesa mingi. Hiyo pesa watu wanaume wanakatana. Tuseme ukweli ama tusiseme? Tuseme tusiseme? This must stop. Hatuwezi kubali. And let me say also, I've heard a few directors saying that KTDA is an independent company, serikali isiingilie. Lakini you serve 800,000 farmers. How 800,000 farmers are Kenyans na wako na mwenyewe. Wako na mwenyewe. They are somebody. Ni wetu, ni wa serikali. It cannot be, when we negotiated these cases out of court settlement, the kind of money the lawyers are asking for is astronomical. Hata wale walipigania rais na mimi kotini kwa Supreme Court bado uliza sisi pesa kama hiyo. Na hiyo kesi ndio ilikuwa kubwa sana Kenya. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yet we have a full-fledged legal department. So we either scrap that department, then we outsource lawyers, because iko wajagani tumeandika mawakili hapo kwa KTDA na wawezi enda kotini. Now all of them are admitted advocates of the High Court. So hii ni maneno ambaye inaleta shida. KTDA subsidiaries are also avenues of wastage. Investment in loss-making businesses without returns to the farmers. KTDA kazi yake ni majani chai. Sasa hii kazi ya real estate, mulifundishwa na nani? Ya kujenga manyumba na kuokota kodi. Si tushughulikie wakulima, mambo ya chai. We'll be having a meeting with the new minister and the board so that all loss-making subsidiaries are shut down, because that loss is absorbed by who? By the farmer, not by the directors. There is no justification whatsoever under the sun for KTDA, a company dealing with farmers and tea, to engage in different business that is loss-making and ask the farmer to carry that loss? Najua wengine hamunipendi, lakini mimi sasa si lazima nipendwe. Si Pastor Dokas ananipenda. Sasa iko haja gani mimi kupendwa na wanaume? Kuna haja. We must speak the truth. And the time to fight for the farmer is now. Yeah. Yeah. Na hii maneno ya chai tutanyorosha. It cannot be. It cannot be. Hata hii madirector hapa wanapigana kwa board. Kwani unafikiria wanapigania juu ya nini? Ni nini wanapigania? Conflict of interest. The tea farmer has suffered for too long. Sasa mgongo ya mkulima imevunjika, anaendelea kuwekelewa magunia juu. Mkulima amekatika center bolt. Si ndio? Hizo subsidiaries that are loss making, chairman and your board, no, we must have a conversation. We must have a conversation. And government will come in to facilitate a forensic audit to ensure only viable businesses remain, and everything else must be wound up to stop wastage of farmers' resources and exploitation of poor tea farmers. Let us stick to the core business of managing tea factories and selling tea. Hiyo ndio kazi yetu. Hii kazi ingine mwachie wafanyabiashara. Wajenge manyumba, wafanye insurance, wafugue nini, tufanye kazi ya chai. The Tea Board of Kenya will oversee direct sales overseas to ensure that tea is offered and sold and timely payments received. There has been a trend for the direct sales overseas to be used for speculation purposes. Then after the necessary approvals are sought and granted, the tea ends up stuck in the warehouses as unsold because there was no actual buyer. Kwa makaratasi chai imeuzwa, lakini iko kwa store. Na tutaenda hapo leo saa 8. We must clean up this space. This must stop forthwith. Additionally, payment to farmers, even through the direct sales overseas, must not be on credit. It must be prompt, like the auction process. Wakulima wapate haki yao. Today, most of our tea is sold in bulk, which does not fetch a premium compared to value-added tea. This must be handled expeditiously together with the production and marketing of orthodox tea. We as an administration, we are willing to partner with you and the county governments to saidiane to install orthodox tea production lines because it fetches higher return for the farmer. We are willing to put in money together with the county governments and yourselves to saidiane. And the recommendations from the inspection report of the revitalization of the tea subsector established in the previous administration, pursuant to Executive Order Number 3 of 2021, is a good place to start the operational and administrative changes needed to streamline this space. I've directed my Chief of Staff to spearhead this process for execution. Kama kuna mtu aliiba kitu ya wakulima, utalipa. Utalipa. The records are there, tutafuatilia. Finally, my call for all of us is to work together to turn around this subsector. And for that to happen, KTDA must be run professionally and profitably. The hundreds of thousands of tea farmers across Kenya elected our government because they believed in it. Our collaboration will lead to increased accountability, enhanced transparency and prosperity for our farmers, and ultimately build public trust in government. Mimi nikiongeza tu kidogo niseme wale mlichaguliwa pongezi. Tafadhali mfanyie wakulima kazi. Na pia in the spirit of democracy, the majority have their way, the minority have their say. Asiyekubali kushindwa si mshindani. Waacha wale walishinda tuwaunge mkono. We support them to succeed for the benefit of the farmer. Wale ambao wakushinda, you will have another day. That is the way it goes. Na hakuna haja ya marumbano, hakuna haja ya kelele, hakuna haja ya fitina. Wacha tukubali uchaguzi umeisha, na asiyekubali kushinda si nini? Kushindwa si mshindani. Let us embrace democracy. Elections are over. Let us work for the farmers. And we as an administration, the chairman, I know we owe you some money ile fertilizer. We are also in difficult space because the money we give you for subsidized fertilizer tunaokota kwa Wakenya. Hakuna pahali iko store ya pesa ya serikali ya Kenya ati naenda kufuguliwa kutolewa. Tunachukua pesa asubuhi, tunakupea saa 8. Tusipochukua asubuhi, hatuna kitu ya kupatia saa 8. It is that simple. That's the way, you know, some people don't understand the way government finances work. It's revenue and expenditure. The revenue you get from the Kenyan taxpayer through taxes. And then you give it to the ministries and departments and organizations to spend. You only spend that which you have. So we are in a difficult fiscal space in the sense that we are collecting slightly over 2.2 trillion. Then we have a huge public debt that we pay every day. We have salaries, we have recurrent expenditure, and we have the other level of government, the county governments, whom we are giving like 400 billion shillings a year. So we are in a tight space. So we disburse monies as they come. So we look for, once we are in a better space, we'll be able to pay what we owe, but we want that benefit to be passed to the farmer. So governor umesema hawa watu watumie ile pesa yote wako nayo hapa Mombasa, nimekubaliana na wewe. Lakini wanasema imeisha. Sasa una bahati, umefurahia ya mwaka huu. Hao watu sasa warudi mashinani. Mambo ya kuja Mombasa tena hakuna haja. The induction is over. Si mumesoma? Sasa mwende mfanyie watu kazi. Kuna haja ya kuleta hii watu yote hapa Mombasa tena. Kwa sababu sasa wamesoma, wameerevuka, wameelewa kila kitu. Sasa waende wafanyie wakulima kazi. Na mimi siwezi mwambia hao wasikize ground kwa sababu hao ndio ground. Si nyinyi ndio ground? Si mimi nasema watu wasikize ground. Ground inasema wakulima wa chai. Ground, uliza mimi, nimetoka huko jana. Inasema tupunguze gharama ya production. That is what the ground is saying. Inasema wakurugenzi wawache kuingia first class kwenda ng'ambo. Hiyo ndio ground inasema. Naona hapo mpigi makofi. Hata msipopiga makofi, hivyo ndivyo ground inasema. Na mambo ya ground ndio mwisho. Many people don't like me because I say what the ground is saying. And sometimes what the ground is saying is not very pleasant to leaders. But that is the truth. Tafadhali, justify the trust the farmers put in you. Watu kuamuka mapema, kwenda kusema wewe ndio unatosha, unafaa, ni heshima kubwa sana. It's a very big respect umepewa na mkulima. Angalau na wewe umsaidie aweke kitu kwa mfuko. Asomeshe watoto wake, ajenge kanyumba nzuri, aweze kujilipia hospital bila kipata kuugua. Hiyo ndio ile kibarua iko mbele yetu. So please, I want to encourage you to work hard. I want us to have better prices. I want us to have a huge bonus, so that tukitangaza bonus. Last year nilifanya party ya bonus, so that tukapongeza those factories that had done very well. Let us work towards a better bonus pay for our farmers. But most importantly, let us be men and women of integrity. Let us not thrive on the sweat of the farmer. Usikuwe wewe unaona mkulima akikonda, itakuwa na makosa. So mimi natakia nyinyi mema. I'm sorry if I'm too hard on you, but I'm just that way. Hapa nimekosa, munisamehe. Nimekosa. Si lazima tuseme ukweli. Hiyo ndio ukweli. Hao wakulima wa chai wanaamuka mapema, wanachuna chai, wanapata arthritis. Payment ikija inakuwa deducted ile loan, ikija ile ingine iko loan. Wakulima wanaendelea kukwisha na kufilisika. Miaka nenda, miaka rudi. So we must feel for our farmer. Na tukiumiza hii mkulima, nani atalima chai? So mimi nimeshukuru sana. Na I just wanted to come and talk to you and tell you that as an administration we'll support you. We have supported KTDA. And we are happy that now we have new directors, and then mfanye kazi. Where you need our support as a government, we'll support you. Tumesaidiana, makesi imeondolewa. We can now implement the Tea Act properly for the benefit of the Kenyan farmer. So sisi tuko pale kama serikali to give you support. And why we are interested in this sector is because of the 800,000 tea farmers who are the people of Kenya. So as an administration, lazima tukuwe na interest on what is happening in the subsector. Again, we have told our ambassadors and high commissioners to look for new markets. We are looking at Pakistan, we are looking at Egypt, we are looking at Iran. We have challenges in Sudan. Tutaendelea kusaidiana kutafuta soko so that we can be in a better place. Nisikia wengine you have problems with independent directors, that's okay. But it's in the law. So what you do is very simple. You look for somebody to move an amendment in the National Assembly and the Senate. Ikiondolewa, you just comply. As it is, that is the law. Hayo hii sheria unajua imeundwa. Asa, if you are not happy with any clause in the law, there is only one way out. You look for an amendment in Parliament so that we are orderly. Let us be people of the rule of law. Let us do things in an orderly manner so that this sector is stabilized, so that we are able to make progress. Mimi nimeshukuru sana. Again, viongozi, nataka kuambia pongezi kwa kuchaguliwa. Najua hii uchaguzi ya chai ni kali hata kuliko general election. When I was a member of parliament for Madera, hata mimi hii uchaguzi ya chai na sichaguliwi nilikuwa natumia kitu so that the right fellows are elected. Ambaye hawanipigi because wako na a lot of influence. You know? Hapo Ragati Tea Factory na nyinyi watu ya Ragati natafuta nyinyi kwa sababu your cost of production is very high. Na sitaki kwenda kulima nyinyi kwa raia na mnanijua. So I used to get interested in what is happening in Ragati Tea Factory and Dima. And the elections were very heavily contested. Because wakulima wanakupatia their livelihood uchunge. So it's a tight election. So mimi nataka kuheshimu sana nyinyi kwa sababu kuchaguliwa hapana mchezo. Kuchaguliwa hapana mchezo. Mtu asikudanganye PS. PS, have you ever been elected? Hii uchaguzi ni kali. Hii ya chai hii ni kali sana. Si iko namna hiyo? It's tough. It is tough. So, ndio sisi kazi yetu ni kuheshimu watu wamechaguliwa. Na nyinyi mfanye kazi. Please work hard. Change people's lives. Let the farmers say at the end of your tenure that they made the right decision to elect you. Then they can re-elect you again. Si tumekubaliana? So sisi naenda huko show, ukipata nafasi pia mkuje kwa show muone ile mambo iko Mombasa. Na hapa Mombasa iko mambo mingi, so mjichunge. Unajua watu ya chai. No, ni sawa nitachukua. Hakuna shida. Pea mtu yangu nitaisoma. Asante. Nitasoma na nitakujibu. Unajua hii pesa ya chai inafuatwa na watu wengi sana. Hapo kwetu nilipokuwa ndio Kirinyaga, mahali naitwa Gichogo. Tuko na factory inaitwa Dhumaita hapo. Na iko ingine hapo Kedore. Sasa bonus ikikaribia, tukitembea town tunaanza kuona sura nyingine hatujazoea. Naangalia hii sura hii hapana hapa. Hii sura hapana hapa. Hii sura hapana hapa. Pesa ya mkulima ikifuatwa. So hii pesa ya hii mkulima inafuatwa na kila mtu. Sasa hii mkulima ataenda wapi? So we used to have musako kali sana. Tukiwidana na hiyo warembo. Walikuwa wanafika wakati ya bonus. Wazee wamepotea kwa boma mpaka pesa ya bonus hii ishe. So this tea farmer must be protected. Because he is under siege from every corner. Kutoka chini, kutoka juu. Sasa hii mkulima ataenda wapi? So at least nyinyi, tafadhali, wacha watu wetu ya security wangangana na hiyo watu. Isikuwe ni nyinyi mnataka kitu ya mkulima. Kwa sababu nyinyi, you are the custodians ya kitu ya mkulima wa chai. Wacha tungangane na hiyo watu wakati ya bonus. When is the announcement for bonus? From next week. So tutakuwa na kibarua. We'll ask our people, our security people, to be on the lookout kwa hiyo watu. Tutafunga mabaa mapema. Na hiyo watu yote wanaonekana wageni tuwaambie warudi pahali walitoka. mpaka bonus iishe. You know? And we ask farmers also to be good people. Hii pesa mumelima mwaka nzima na mama na watoto. Sasa hii watu wengine wanakuja kukula. Hakuweko siku ya kuweka mbolea. Siku ya picking they were not there. Siku ya kupeleka buying center they were not there. Wanafika tu, saa ile pesa imefanya nini? Kwa hivyo we must protect our farmer. The tea farmer is under siege from every corner. And we as an administration will do the best to make sure that we protect our farmers. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.